Students, today we are discussing the applications of diode. There are different applications of diode, but before discussing the applications of diode, let's have a revision. A revision of about diode that you have studied before. So basically, what is diode? Diode is a PN junction. A PN junction is made up of a silicon material. Mostly the materials that we are using as a silicon, as a semiconductor material, these are the silicon and germanium. In last lectures we have studied this. A diode that can be, it is also an application of diode, that a diode can be used as a switch. And when we are using it as a switch, then there is the forward biasing of a diode and reverse biasing of a diode. A PN junction, it consists of one side is of P material and the other one side is of N material, and between both of them there is a layer that is known as the depletion layer. This depletion layer, it is the basic thing in this PN junction. When a PN junction is forward biased or a diode is forward biased, then there is a breakdown of this depletion region, and when there is reverse biasing, then this depletion region increases its area. When a diode is forward biased, then we are having the biasing such as the P material is connected with the positive terminal of battery, while the N material is connected with the negative terminal of the battery. When a diode is forward biased, then the current flows in it. If the diode is made up of a silicon material, then the threshold voltage, the voltage that is necessary to break down the depletion region. For silicon material it is 0.7 volt, and for germanium diode it will have the value of 0.3 volt. So when a diode is in its forward biasing condition, then current flows in it. So you may say that diode is, right now at that time you are using the diode as a on switch. But when the diode is in the reverse biased region, then in the reverse biased region there is no flow of current, because the depletion region increases its area. It doesn't happen at that time that there will be a breakdown of that region. Because of that, there is no flow of current. When there is no flow of current, then we say that right now the diode is using as a off switch. So the foremost application of a diode is, it is used as a switch. When it is forward biased, then it is an on switch, and when it is reverse biased, then it is an off switch. So now today we will see the different applications of diode, in which first of all we will discuss the load line analysis. So let's have the agenda of today's lecture is. So here is the agenda. First of all we will discuss the load line analysis, then series, parallel and series parallel configurations and OR gates, half and full wave rectification, clippers, clampers and Zener diode, voltage multiplier circuit, and last of that is practical application. So first of all today we will discuss the load line analysis. So what is the load line analysis? In order to understand the load line analysis, first of all we will discuss the circuit that is given in this slide. Here we are having a resistor R, a diode that is an ideal diode, and a DC battery that is connected here. In this circuit you may say this, the positive terminal of the diode that is connected with the positive terminal of the battery, while the negative terminal of the diode that is connected with the negative terminal of the battery. So this circuit is in the forward biasing condition, forward biasing of a diode. So current will flow in this circuit. That's why ID is flowing in this diode, and there is a voltage drop across the resistor, that is the VR. The threshold voltage for this diode is VD. Now before discussing this that is what is the load line analysis, we will simply apply the KVL in this circuit. When we apply the KVL in this circuit, then You may start from the positive terminal or you may start from the negative terminal, or from any circuit element you can start it. So let's suppose we are starting it from the DC supply, that is the E, and starting from the positive terminal of the battery. So plus E, next polarity, that will be the missed, and the next we will take the next one polarity. So plus E minus VD and minus VR is equal to 0. From this equation you will get the value of E. So V is equal to VD plus IDR. Now solving for VD, when we get the value of VD from this equation, then VD is equal to E minus IDR. If we put ID is equal to 0, so when we put ID is equal to 0, then VD is equal to E at that condition when ID is equal to 0. Now solving for the ID, and when we are solving for the ID, we will take that VD is equal to 0. So when we take VD is equal to 0, so in this case we will have the value of ID is equal to E over R, while VD is equal to 0. Now comes towards the graph. Here the blue line that represents the characteristic curve of a diode. In this characteristic curve of a diode, we have seen this. A diode, it will operate at VD. If it is a silicon diode, then VD will be equal to 0.7, and if it is a germanium diode, then VD is equal to 0.3 volt. First of all, there is no current in the circuit while we are applying the voltage here. But when the voltage comes at the threshold voltage, at the VD, the voltage at which the current starts flowing in it, then the ID will increase. So basically this blue line represents the characteristic curve of the diode. Now the black line, it is basically the load line. In this we are having the value of ID. Coming towards the equations where we get ID is equal to E over R while VD is equal to 0. So we get from this graph, when VD is equal to 0, then ID is equal to E over R. So 1 point represents there, and VD is equal to E when ID is equal to 0. So when ID is equal to 0, so at horizontal line we are having VD is equal to E. When we combine these 2 points, E over R and E, then we get a straight line that is known as the load line. So the interaction of the load line on the characteristics can be determined by first applying the Kirchhoff's voltage law in the clockwise direction. We have started our discussion from the KVL, and it is the interaction of the load line. The ER and E points, the line between them, that is the load line, and the other line that is of the blue line, that is the characteristic curve of the diode. And the point at which there is the intersection of these two lines, that is known as the Q point, quotient point, operating point of a diode. So at that point we mentioned that the VD is equal to VDQ and the ID is equal to IDQ. So the load line is determined simply by the applied network, whereas the characteristics are defined by the chosen device, and here the chosen device is our diode. In this example, for the series diode configuration of figure given below, employing the diode characteristics of the figure 2.3b, so we have to determine the VDQ and IDQ A, and B is VR. In this circuit, first of all, you see that this in A figure there is only the circuit, while in the B figure you are having the characteristic curve of a diode. From this characteristic curve we will have the information about VDQ and IDQ. First of all, simply comes towards the last slide, in which we have seen that we will have the 2 points. One is the ID, where ID is equal to E over R, where VD is equal to 0, and VD is equal to E when ID is equal to 0. When we put the value of VD is equal to 0 in that equation, then we get the value of ID. So E is equal to 10 and R is 0.5K. So we will get the value of ID, that will equal to the 20 milliampere. While VD is equal to E when ID is equal to 0. So simply VD is equal to 10 volt. So the resulting load line appears in the figure. First of all, we will see this, the interaction point. Where will be the interaction point? From the figure B, you see this, the current flows in the circuit at a point of 0.7, 0.8 almost, right? So at 0.78, when we simply intersect these two lines, then we will get the point that is the Q point, and at Q point IDQ is equal to 18.5 milliampere. The B part is VR. So VR will be simply calculated by the equation where VR is equal to E minus VD. E is the 10 volt and VD is the 0.78. So we will get the answer of 9.22 volt. From your book, you are having the example of 2.2 and the example of 2.3 that you will do by yourself, and also check the questions relating to load line analysis from the exercise. And in next lecture, you will discuss about all those things in which you are having the complications or confused in that. So discuss that with me in the next lecture. Thank you.